Notifying viewers that I am live. Notify him then. Notify him then. Let him know. Notify him then. We are live. I'm going to try this TikTok thing out while it's still while it's still available to use. At least in its current state. Where the hell? It just is. Not much difference. There's difference. Let's try to do it like that. No. Got a better spot. My phone, my car doesn't have really a good place to put a phone mount. Like it was designed to be anti-phone mount or something, but yeah. Which sucks because my last car had a better phone mount. But here we are. This is a live. You've waited long enough. If you catch it, you catch it. This is going to be a live review of the new Naked Gun movie, Naked Gun 2025, with Liam Neeson. I was super excited for this one. I was like, let me make sure I get provisions ready beforehand, get myself ready beforehand, get my mind right beforehand. You know what I mean? Breathe in, breathe out. And so yeah, I decided, all right, let's go see this Naked Gun movie and give y'all on TikTok the exclusive real-time review as I just leave the theater. And it was alright. It was alright. The first part of this section is not going to be spoiler written, although I guess there are such things as spoilers for this movie, but it was okay. It was okay. My problem, and this isn't much of a spoiler because they kind of spoiled it themselves. My problem is that there were too many jokes that I saw in the trailer, and I didn't really see the trailer that much. Like I saw the Lethal Weapon trailer, the Naked Gun trailer with Liam Neeson in the bank. I saw the, the reveal and all that other stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but that was in the movie. And I saw two trailers. I saw the first trailer, and then there's this latest trailer that I guess is circulating on social media right now, featuring Pamela Anderson more, but I didn't even really see it. Like, I didn't even really watch it. Like, the volume was off. It was scrolling through something, and it came up. And so I saw, like, the back end of it. And the problem is that those had some really good jokes in it, but I saw them already. Like, I was expecting, I was hoping for something, better. And then I saw an early review of it, Jeremy Johns, and he was like, oh, it's good for Blu-ray too. And I'm like, I'm like, okay, I kind of trust Jeremy Johns. And I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm supposed to be in the right mind state, and the theater was packed. This was the first time I've been to a packed theater since Deadpool versus Wolverine. Like, there were no seats left. Like, I checked earlier today, like on a whim. I was like, let me just see, because I was going to wait until the last minute to get the tickets, because I normally do that anyway. And I was like, let me see. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, like early this morning, most of the theater was already reserved for it. So I'm like, okay, there's going to be lots of people in there to laugh. And so people must be like craving this one. There must be some good press around it, etc. And there is, like, I haven't heard bad things about it. I might be the first person to tell you some bad things about it. But I encourage your viewers to share your live and invite more friends. Yeah, share and invite. But I came into this hoping it would be like I've heard things along the lines of it's in the same vein of, and maybe I need to go back and re-listen to what is on this going on up. Yeah, oh, they shut the whole thing a bit down. Oh, shut the whole. I don't need to. No, I'm going around. Thank you, y'all got it. So I heard like, oh, it's like the Naked Gun movies, and so I'm like, okay. That's a good recommendation. That's a good place to start. There's some respect to it. Like, okay, all right, I'm down. I'm gonna go see it. I'm down. You got my money. I'm gonna go. I'm down. And I go, and it's fine. It's all right. Again, one of my problems is a lot of the jokes are in the trailers that you see. And swipe right to see more comments. Okay, thank you. All right. TikTok, thank you. A lot of the jokes are in the trailer. And I was hoping for more like shock jokes, and especially like Jeremy Johns' review. He was like, he had followed the jokes and then like found like some refreshing payoffs. And there were a couple of chuckles in there. I didn't laugh nearly as much as other people laughed in the movie. Not as hard either. It got some chuckles, but it's not quite the same. So the styles are different, but I guess it's as close as you can get to a Police Squad movie nowadays. Like the jokes weren't bad. Like here, okay, I'll say this. The jokes weren't bad. They weren't terrible jokes. They weren't like vampire movie quality jokes or first date movie quality jokes. They were better quality jokes. They just weren't, most of them just weren't guffaw. Most of them just weren't bust a gut worthy. You know what I mean? There were like, you could definitely feel it was in the same vein. It definitely still felt like it was written by like 12-year-olds. Right, but like the smart 12-year-olds who like understood comedy theory, like, okay, but it wasn't, but like the modern day version. So like not as rapid fire. There wasn't as many background jokes to get and follow like there were in the original police story movie, but you know, the Naked Gun movies and the Police Squad TV show. It wasn't joke, a million jokes a minute. So which I also think will hurt the rewatchability of it, because I don't necessarily need to see this movie again. And there's not a whole lot of stuff that like, if you like, cause I'm looking and there's not a lot of stuff that's like, oh, that's a great running joke in the background that you get if you're paying attention. You know what I mean? There were a lot of jokes that you would get if you were paying attention in the background. Now, they do some of that in the closing credits. It's semi-spoiler. But in the closing credits, some of the credits are a joke to keep you there and watching through the end. So, you got that. But and now we're surrounded by a bunch of, by the biker boys. As I tried to avoid the closed street on the other end. Why does Long Beach not want me to see and review movies? I just liberally went to the non-fuck-aroundy theater. I deliberately did not go to the candlelight, the one at the Lakewood Mall, just because I didn't want any shenanigans, and I got shenanigans anyway. Anyway, and they're going down 2nd Street. Why wouldn't they go down 2nd Street? I'm coming down 2nd Street. Go ahead, buddy. No? All right. Yeah, the rapid fireness of the jokes isn't quite the same. They do have some good running gags. The quality of the jokes are good. The quality of the jokes aren't bad. They're good. They're just not the same quality as previous generations Police Squads. You know what I mean? It's just not as good. It's good, it's not as good. It's like what did they change the recipe of recently? What's a recipe that people know that they changed? It's like don't even know. I can't even think. It's like if they changed the recipe of quality food that you liked before, and I was like, it's not quite the same. It's not as good as it used to be. It used to be really good, and I'm trying to figure out if my taste buds have changed. Yeah, but I was prepared for this. Like, I was like, all right, come in, 10-year-old sense of humor, is gonna love this. Police Squad, brain frame. You know what I mean? Like, this is the brain wave you want to be on. Not the lowest quality, but you want to be open to laughing. This is it. This is it, baby. Overture, curtain lights. This is it. This is the big show. Just laugh. Just in the mood to laugh. And I chuckled. I was in the mood to laugh, and I deliberately got myself in the mood to laugh, and I chuckled. But even then, it wasn't like, this was bad. It was like, these jokes are fine. They're not the best they're not the best. You know what I mean? They're not the best. And as a wrestling fan, I knew that Cody Rhodes was in it, and he's even like 4th build or something like that, something crazy. He's in it for 30 seconds. Like, he's in it for 30 seconds. He says 5 lines, and he's got 3 jokes. Like, and they're okay. His first joke with the glass, there's a joke that he's got. This first joke is good, and then the rest of them, like, why did he get 5th billing? Like, really? I guess he is kind of the biggest name in the movie outside of Liam Neeson and Pam Anderson, I suppose, if we're being honest. Pam Anderson, also a former WrestleMania main eventer. Eliza Koshy is in it. I recognized her. Luckily, she wasn't trying to be comedic. She was more of a straight person. And again, she was only in it for 15 seconds. Good. 5 seconds of her is fine. And she didn't make any stupid, this is funny face. It's not funny. That's not, this is humor. That's not humor. But okay. She didn't do any of that. She was mostly straight throughout it. And CCH Pounder. So Liam Neeson, Pam Anderson, CCH Pounder were the top 3, I think. Yeah, and I think Cody was like 4th. I think Cody was like 4th or 5th. Crazy. He was in it for 5 seconds. He was in it for 5 seconds. Easiest paycheck you'll ever get, I suppose. But yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It was fine. Yeah. Like I think probably the best example I could maybe give food-wise would be Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr.'s burgers, their Charborough burgers back in like the 90s, were exceptional. Their burgers now are fine. Burgers now are good. Like, they're good. They're fine. But the Charborough shit that they did in the 90s, top notch. Or McDonald's fries. McDonald's fries used to be crack. Used to be, I swear they were laced, they wasn't salt they put on, they sprinkled crack on. Now, they're fine if you catch them warm. They're fine if they're not cold by the time they get to you, which is strange because they should be in the fryer. It's fine, I guess. It's alright. So, yeah, but fine, but okay. But like, again, not terrible, just not as good as you remember, and not even as you remember, probably not as good as it actually was back then. And so, same thing here. The jokes were fine. They weren't as good as they probably were back then, and actually weren't back then. They weren't as rapid fire. So, that's fine. We're about to get to spoiler territory because there's not much else I can say in turn. Like, it has the rapid jokes, but it also follows a story. It actually follows a story more than you would think it does. Certainly more than I anticipated it following a story. But it did. And, it was cool. It was cool for doing it. And Pam Anderson, I will say this also about Pam Anderson, not spoiler wise. There's a point in here where she gets sillier than I've ever seen her. And I've seen Pam Anderson in comedy stuff before, right? She started as the first Tool Time girl in Home Improvement. I saw her in comedy stuff before, but she always played like the same kind of vapid, one-dimensional comedy bimbo. She even had her own sitcom, Stacked, with Christopher Lloyd of all people. And It was fine, I guess, with Christopher Lloyd and the star of the new Hairspray that came out in the 2000s. It was fine. She was fine in it, playing the bimbo role who just kind of breathlessly says her lines and says her lines in the laugh track. She was fine. She was no April Bowlby, but she was fine. Here she got really silly. She got to be, but not as much as Priscilla did. Again, it's not as much. I went into this not wanting to be that guy. I went into this saying, okay, looking at some of the early reviews, everybody seems to love it. Okay, and they're not giving much away, but everybody seems to love it. The reviewers that I trust seem to love it, because that's how you should be doing with the review. You shouldn't just be listening to everybody. You should find some people that actually align with what you think, give or take, and go off of their opinion, give or take, right? And so everybody seems to love it. Okay, cool. Maybe this will be great. Maybe this will work. And it's almost did. Again, it did. Not as much. It did, but not as much. And that really is the whole shebang, is that it's fine. It's not as much. It's good. It's not as much as Police Squad, as Naked Gun is. So as good as Pam Anderson, seeing Pam Anderson do that really silly part was, not as much as we saw Priscilla be able to do in the Naked Gun movies. Not as much. So it was good. It was good for Pam Anderson, but not as much. Liam Neeson I liked in his version of Frank Drebin's son, because they do incorporate Liam Neeson's image of action star, fighter, all that stuff, tough guy, into it and makes it funny. And Liam Neeson doesn't look like doesn't come across as, oh, I'm really trying to be the funny guy, guys, in this, the way other people have in the past. There's definitely been some super try-hardy comedy performances from action stars or former action stars that don't work. You know what I mean? The big, I'm a big guy now, waka waka. Not everybody is Arnie. You know what I mean? Sylvester Stallone can do comedy, but not quite the same way Arnie does. Steven Seagal, I think. It's not like Steven Seagal trying to be comedic. Terrible. No, he's on the better end. He's on the better end of tough guys doing comedy. It doesn't seem try-hardy. I'd like to see him in some other comedy stuff, if we're being perfectly honest. But he's good in this one, and I like how they incorporate his action style. And his partner is the son. You saw it in the trailer, and it's not really there's no real interactions with his partners. There's barely some, and not even partners. It's just that one guy. There's barely interaction with the son of George what's his name? Barely. So it's mostly Frank Drebin fighting bad guys and falling in love with Pam Anderson. That's it mostly. And that's not really spoiler. We are going to get into spoiler territory here. So I'm sure most of you haven't seen it. I got the earliest showing that we have out here in Cali. So if you haven't seen it yet, or you want to see it or whatever, go ahead and dip out, because I'm about to get into spoiler territory. I'm about to first off take my sip. And after I take this sip, we will dip into spoiler territory. All right. Spoiler time now. So, bad guy is trying to steal, or did steal, a literal plot device. He's got some acronym for it, from the bank that you saw in the trailer. And the plot is, the thing is supposed to make the average people go crazy and fight each other, and the rich billionaires will go hide out in a cave, and the last people from each sector who survive